Alright. So this fella named Tariq Zizi asked me, how do I beat Bison standing medium kick with Cammy? I can't do it. He out-footsies her all the time. I'm outranged. I'm outgunned. I can't just hit medium punch whenever I want. Alright. So, this is Footsies. Footsies is a general concept, so you need to understand. When I say the word Footsies, here's what I want you to think. When I say the word Footsies, I want you to think we are both standing up. Both characters. Both of us. And we're both going to be walking and jumping and trying stuff to try to get from a neutral situation to an advantageous position. This could be from hitting your opponent, from putting them at a spacing where they're weak, from perhaps getting them to block a jump in, or something else. There's plenty of ways for you to take advantage of the neutral game, but the most important way, and the hardest way to do so, I'm not talking to anybody so I can turn you off. The most important way to do so is via the use of your grounded normals. And there are two main ways to classify two if you're taking notes. There are two main ways to beat normals in Street Fighter 4. To beat normals in Street Fighter 4. Two ways. Two main ways. There's a third way, but I'll get there. The two ways that you need to think about are, number one, whiff punishment. Whiff punishment is something that you'll see a lot in tournament play. Okay. And whiff punishment is the act of, you know, when someone throws a normal out, you hitting the extended normal to deal damage to them. Okay. Let me try to get one to work here. Oh, that was too close. Let me try here. Oh! Nope, a little too late. Ooh, there's one. This is very fast. Obviously, guys, this is difficult to do. But what you need to understand about whiff punishment is that it's not a raw reaction. It is not a raw reaction. Daigo is not walking around thinking about his footsie game and then, hey, wait a minute, did you just do a crouch medium kick? Well, since you did a crouch medium kick, I'm gonna crouch hard kick you on reaction. No! That is a major misunderstanding of what whiff punishment is. That is not what Daigo is doing. For some things that are very slow, that is possible. But for a lot of pokes that are mediums and lights like this, he's neither guessing nor reacting. He's doing something in the middle, okay? And this is the number one failure to understand of how whiff punishment works. Here's the thing. I threw out these jabs here on the dummy so that you know when the Bison is walking forward, okay? When you think the Bison is walking forward, you gotta ask yourself, again, thinking ahead, like I was talking about earlier in the stream. Watch my last archive for more of that. You gotta be thinking ahead. What is this Bison thinking of doing when he's walking towards me? A lot of online players would say, well, he's gonna stand medium kick. He lost his charge, right? He's gonna stand medium kick or hard kick, right? That's the most common thing, and it is a common thing. So since it's a common thing, you should be saying, how can I whiff punish that normal? And the simple answer is you need to be out of the range of it, okay? Here's the deal. When he's walking forward, you need to say, I think he's going to stand medium kick in a second. Because I think he's going to stand medium kick in a second, I'm going to walk backwards before he walks forwards. I'm not waiting for the forward walk. I'm predicting that he might walk forward and poke here. I'm predicting. I don't know. Okay? You can't really know. But over here, what's the risk of walking backwards, you know? You're just walking backwards right here? That's not a big deal. There's a couple of things Bison can do. But you need to focus on individual things for whiff punishment to work. You need to say, I think he's going to walk forward and hit medium kick. And then you also need to know what you're going to whiff punish with. You need to say, okay, I'm going to walk back and he's going to whiff this. But then what? How am I going to hit that leg? It's not going to be a crouch short, is it? It's not going to be a crouch medium kick, is it? Is it? I don't know. I'm not a Cammy main. Let me try it. At least try it. Go to training mode and try it. Just keep in mind, if you're getting counter hit like this... Oh, look at that. That was number 2. I'm not there yet. If you're trying to whiff punish, and your stuff is out of range, or you're getting counter hit, you're not doing it properly. You should not be counter hit on a whiff punish, because your button should come out after theirs. Remember that a counter hit means that you're getting hit during startup. Your normal should come after theirs for this to be a true whiff punish. Oh, wow, I'm not even timing anything. I'm going to try Crouch Spheres. Why? Because why not? There we go. See? You can get it to work. It's about timing and where you're standing. If you're too far away, it's not going to work. And if you're too close, you know, if you're too close, then the medium kick is going to connect. Another thing you have to consider, and this is very important with Footsies, is that when you are crouching, your hitbox, excuse me, your hurtbox is very slightly larger. Okay? I want you to notice something against this Bison right here. He's stand blocking. Look at this. I'm missing, right? Right now I'm missing with this crouch medium kick. Okay? If he were crouching, though, it does not miss. When you crouch in Street Fighter 4, every time you crouch, your hurtbox is a rectangle, and it gets a tiny bit wider than it would be if you are standing. So this crouch medium kick right here would be missing if the Bison player were standing and walking up back and forth. When you're adjusting the spacing between the two of you, that's where it becomes an issue, okay? But, back to whiff punishment, again. If you're trying to whiff punish, you know, his stand medium kick or whatever else it is... I hit record, didn't I? I totally did. If you're too close, if you think you're at the right range... Like, let me put it this way. Right here, that whiffs, right? Oh, let me get it good. Nope. A little further than it looks. Oh, wow. See, I'm bad at adjusting spacing. There we go. Right there, it whiffs. But the idea is, if you're crouching at the range where it might whiff on standing, it might, you know, it's going to throw you off because of that tiny little bit of extended hurt box there. So it's important to understand that if you want to whiff punish, you need to be standing at a very precise space. Very precise. If you're too close, your button could get blown up. And not to mention the crouch may cause you... If you want to counter poke with a crouching normal, the crouch may make you accidentally block the normal when you weren't expecting it. But if you're too far, then your whiff punish is not going to be effective. You need to be standing at a very specific spot. A very specific spot. This spot will change on a character-to-character and a normal-to-normal basis. But the idea is you need to know the spot to stand in order to make this whiff, and so that you know which normal to press, and that it's... Okay? Stand medium punch to spiral arrow, hard kick version. Or even to super. It doesn't have to be to spiral arrow. Make that count. If you know he's gonna do it, you can punish him really hard for it. No! Smasher! There's a lot you can do on a whiff punish. But you need to understand that it's not a raw reaction. It's not a raw reaction. It's a player saying, I am predicting normal X. So I'm going to space myself at a certain distance, and I have myself thinking, I already know what button I'm waiting for. If I'm a Kami player, and I'm standing around here, and you're Bison, you should be scared. Because if you're not scared, that means you've never played against a Kami that knows how to whiff punish, and knows how to prevent you from using the normals that you want. Okay, see, look at that. I'm spacing wrong because of the crouch. Smasher! Okay? If you think the answer is jump, or the answer is do an EX cannon strike or something, then you're not playing Footsies. That's not what Footsies is. Will it work? It may work, but do you think it's going to work on Daigo? Do you think it's going to work on, you know, Infiltration? Do you think it's going to work on even Justin Wong? You gotta understand that players do different things at different times. You can't beat everything with the same things all the time. And just because you have 15 or 20,000 battle points, and all the Bisons you play against aren't scared of it, You know? That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be ready for it. Be ready for things even that opponents don't use. Otherwise, when you play better opponents, you won't be prepared for them. Sorry to be a little bit scattershot. Let me get back on track. I mentioned at the beginning of this that there are 2 ways to beat normals. There are 2. The first one I kind of did by accident. Okay. Okay. And the other way is to, just like the first way, it starts with a prediction. You predict that your opponent is going to do normal X at a certain time, and you say, well, I think he's going to be walking forward, I think he's going to hit this button, so I'm going to hit my button before he hits his. I'm going to hit my button before he hits his, and hope that he runs into it. Okay. Notice right here, I've already pressed the hard punch. I've already pressed it. I don't know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's going to walk forward and hit medium kick. I'm just predicting that he might be doing it. If he gets hit, great. I don't care. There are plenty of ways to counter a Cammy just throwing out hard punch. You could jump at her, but will you? You know, maybe you could try to whiff punish her normal, but were you looking for it? Are you expecting a Cammy to throw out hard punch out of all her normals? Okay? You need to be cognizant of what your opponent is trying to do. Okay? If your opponent is trying to use a certain normal, that means that they might have to be at a certain spot to use it. Maybe you should intercept them before they get to that spot. With a normal, or with something else. Like, if I really think I know when he's going to walk forward after the jabs, then I'll throw out a spiral arrow. If I know he's going to walk forward, I'll throw that out, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to react. You know? He can't react to the spiral arrow. He might not walk forward, though. And this is where a lot of intermediate players falter. They'll say, well, I could do all this juice, but it's unsafe. It could be unsafe. And I say, yeah, it could be unsafe, asshole. But you should do it anyway. Because this will work on PR Rog, but it won't work on your average everyday Balrog. This will work against me, but it won't work against bad Ables. This will work against good Cammies, but not bad ones. You need to understand that when you play online, when you play the skill level of players that you're used to playing, that conditions you to play in a way to beat that level of players. You are now, if you want to go to an offline tournament, you're talking about playing people that are not scared of walking right up to your face and hitting crouch fierce. We're talking about people that know all the spots to stand to whiff punish and all the spots to stand to predict where your normals are going to come out and get the best possible option. They know all of that. They've done all of that trading mode shit already. None of the people you're playing online are doing this. Maybe some of them are. I'll double check myself. Asterisk, some people. But it's online. What you got to remember is that offline, this is way easier. Offline, it is feasible to whiff punish certain things on reaction. Feasible. A great example, Jury. Jury has lots of tools to get around projectiles. She could parry the projectile. She can destroy the projectile with her kick raise. She can neutral jump it just like everyone else. She can focus backdash just like everyone else. If she's got a projectile storage, she can throw that to destroy it. She's got a dive kick. But did you know that it's offline completely standard for a Jury to be like, oh, you're Ryu and you threw a Hadouken? That is a free hard kick dive kick. 100% of the time, every time. If the Jury is looking for it. And that is an aspect of Footsies too. Even though there's no normals going on, let's just say this is Jury and Ryu. Jury's on the left, Ryu's on the right. Doesn't matter. Think generally. Try to envision situations in your head. This is a skill you'll need to be good at Footsies. You need to be able to envision situations before they happen so that you can think about possibilities for them. Ryu throws a Hadouken, and I am waiting for it. I'm holding my light kick. I'm just waiting. I'm saying, I think this Ryu might throw a Hadouken, so I'm looking for it. When the Ryu throws it, he goes, Hadou, and I'm like, there it is. Gotcha, bitch. Jump forward, hard dive kick. Works 100% of the time, every time, if I'm waiting for it. If I'm not waiting for it, and he goes, Hadouken, and I'm like, shit, I gotta react now. Then you're too late. Then you're too late. With punishment with normals is the same. You can't wait for the normal and then try to whiff punishment. Whiff punishment is a strategy that you need to be in the middle of before any normals have happened. Before anything has happened, you need to say, I've decided I'm going to go for this whiff punishment, so I'm going to stand at this spot, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to look for it, and if I see it, I'm going to go for it, you know? That's not a reaction. Your reaction is a part of it, but prediction is the rest of it. And without that prediction part, you're not good at whiff punishment, you're good at getting lucky. Okay? Let me relate this to you. Let me relate to you the difference between a good offline cami and a good online cami. Both of them use the same tactics. Both of them know about stuff like this. They both know all that stuff. They both know this. They both know that as a whiff punish. Let me go ahead and play that back. An online cami is not going to wait for you. An online cami is not going to wait for you. They're going to be doing a lot of this. You know, they're going to be throwing out a lot of normals that, you know, may catch your stuff. Okay? They're going to stand at the spot and they're going to throw it out. But they're not expecting to actually react to it in the online sense. Most of the actual footsies that happens in the online sense does not have an actual complete amount of whiff punishment in it because of the online environment. Usually what they're doing is they're predicting normals and they throw their normal out a little early to get that counter hit. That's usually what they're doing. Okay? An offline cami doesn't have to predict so much, and so she can afford to be further away from you. A good online cami, this is very difficult, by the way. This is difficult to spot. An online cami is going to stand here. An offline cami is going to stand here. This is almost impossible to spot. But you're not thinking about this unless you know all this shit. An offline cami can react to the normals. So she's going to give herself a tiny bit more space so that in case you don't run into it, it's not a big deal. It's almost impossible for low-level players to see because they're not thinking about any of that shit. Okay? You got to understand that actual whiff punishment has an element of reaction to it, but the spacing is the bigger part and the prediction is the biggest part. Also the execution. Just the execution aspect of it alone. Let's say I want to punish this with super. Let's say I want to do counter hit crouch fierce into Ultra 1. Let's say I want to do that. How much have you practiced it? And no, I don't mean how much have you practiced counter hit crouch fierce into Ultra 1. What I mean is, when was the last time you recorded the dummy to walk forward, hit the normal at a particular spot, and practiced doing a counter hit on a predictive footsie scenario into Ultra 1? Because those are different. Practicing crouch fierce counter hit to Ultra 1 and practicing crouch fierce in the footsie situation is not the same. Those are completely different. And that's why you're going to be like, I can't believe I missed that crouch. Like, you're going to do this. You're going to do this online one day. You're going to get that crouch fierce. Oh my god, I got Ultra 1. You're going to do it. You're going to be too late. And you're too late because it didn't occur to you to practice the entire scenario. You need to react to way more than the crouch fierce. You need to react to the fact that it hit, to the fact that you got the crouch fierce at a particular spacing in a scenario where you had no clue what would happen. That's why whiff punishment is actually hard, okay? And this is why footsies is hard. When you want to whiff punish and actually take advantage of it, that takes extra practice. Depending on your character. I mean, oh god. Name a character with terrible normals. Terrible normals. You know what? I'll do Makoto. Everyone who plays Makoto. I can't beat Bison. Her normals aren't good enough. I can't space myself. You're right. You can't space yourself. Backdash goes too far. Forward dash? Nope. So you can't really adjust your spacing as well as the Bison. So you know what? Don't try. Stop trying. Don't try to adjust the spacing. Just predict when the normal is coming and beat it that way. You can still whiff punish depending on the ability of the opponent. Like, it depends on how much they walk. She can still whiff punish though. It's just a question of how good are you. That's the real question. You know? Predictively though, her stand medium punch beats practically everything in the game. Come on, I'm gonna get this to work. Oh, got it. Ooh! Ooh! That's some Dudley shit right there. And you know what? That's exactly what Dudley does. So why are you only thinking of doing it with Dudley? Stop thinking of counter pokes and pokes in a character-specific sense. You might need character specifics in order to make matchups work, okay? If this hitbox was slightly different, maybe Stand Fierce wouldn't work here. But the point is it does, and I figured it out, and now I know that if I throw out a stand hard punch right here, he can't medium kick me at the right time. You know what I'm saying? I know this. And now here's the bomb I need to drop, and here's where the mind games expand. Here's where it gets a little crazy. Here's where the game changes. You thought all the shit I just dropped on you was a bomb. Nope, I'm not there yet. Pull your pants up. Here's the deal. Those two ways counter each other. Let's go on the assumption. Let's predict. Let's predict that Bison is going to walk up and hit stand medium kick. And I'm going to hit that button early. Ah, shit. Doesn't it mean if you throw a normal out and they do nothing, doesn't that mean that you can get whiff punished? Isn't that what that means? You can whiff punish normals and you can predict normals. But if you predict wrong, then you just threw out a normal. And you're not blocking. If you're trying to predict their normals and you want to stuff them with your normals, you have to hit normals. I know it's weird, right? But you have to hit normals to do this. This means you're not blocking. So this means if... You see where I'm going with this? Okay? If you want to stop a Bison from hitting his medium kick right here, you have to necessarily open yourself up to getting hard kicked in the face. If you want to stop a Makoto from using her crouch medium punch, you need to counter poke that, or you need to predict it and stuff it. But if you're blocking a whole lot, that opens up the dash for her. If you want to stop Viper's crouch medium kick, you can try to whiff punish it at the right spacing, or you can try to predict it with one of your pokes at the right spot. But if you don't hit anything, she can whiff punish you with a lighter medium knuckle or something, or even a burn kick. This is where the game opens up, and this is the game that most of you are not playing, and this is why you can't beat Justin Wong and Rog and all those other good players, okay? I want you all to know something very important. This knowledge applies to every character, to every matchup, all the time. It's not a case of this character's normals are too good. No, it's a case of you don't know how to counter that normal with yours. Name any two characters. Like, seriously, I'm just going to pick random. I'm just going to pick random, and I'm going to tell you what the online players would do and how the offline players might choose to do it. I'm going to pick random. I'm going to tell you a common footsie situation for whatever the fuck these characters are. And I'm going to show you how you troubleshoot it. Oh shit, Seth Chun-Li. Oh man. Let me break this down for you. Let's say Seth is Punko and actually pokes. Oh boy. Okay. Let's say Seth is Punko and actually pokes. What are Seth's best pokes? Well, he's got hard punch. That's a good idea. You know? But his next best poke is probably going to be stand medium kick. It's quick, it's safe, goes over a lot of things. Okay? Standing light kick is also pretty good. It's good with punishment for a handful of things. But if he's standing right here, okay, the Chun-Li player should be thinking, well, if he's going to hit this medium kick, there's a few things I can do. But let me reverse the roles here since I'm Chun. If you're Chun, and you're a common, everyday, standard online player, you know what you're thinking? You're thinking, I'm going to crouch hard kick that motherfucker. Of course that's what you're thinking. You're a standard issue online Chun, and you trip people all the time. They always get hit by it. Why wouldn't you do it? Okay? This is a similar situation as Makoto, where he doesn't have a lot of good walk speed. He doesn't have good walk speed, so his ability to adjust his spacing isn't very good. But he totally can whiff punish these things if he predicts. I need to be walking forward before I need to be walking backwards before she walks forwards. Before! I can't wait! If I wait for the Chun to walk forward and then I walk back, I'm too late. I'm too late. And look at this, crouch medium kick doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I have to use a different normal, and in Seth's case, crouch medium punch works. I'd be willing to bet crouch jab also works. Aha! Doesn't combo there. Aha! See, I was wrong timing. Nope, that doesn't work. Hey! With punishment. But think about that one more time. I have to be walking backwards before Chun walks forwards? How the hell can I pull that off? You know how you pull it off? By not playing the neutral game the same every time. By taking the risk. I think she's going to walk forward and try trip, so instead of doing Seth shit, instead of jumping away, instead of doing this, instead of doing this, instead of Sonic Kaboom bullshit, stop playing that game and predict. Stop playing your game and start playing against your opponent. If you know what your opponent will do, then you can beat it with practice and a lot of effort. You can do this. The top players know all this. And the top player matches that you see are completely different than the exact same match that you see online with the same characters, even at 50 gajillion battle points. That's the major, major failure of understanding of the majority of online players of this game. So, I just showed you how Seth can whiff punish Chun-Li's crouch hard kick. You have to be a certain spot away, you have to be walking backwards a bit early, and crouch medium punch would be your best bet. Okay? But, I'm assuming that Chun-Li is gonna actually do the crouch hard kick. I'm assuming it. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. What if I'm Chun? If I'm Chun, and I think my opponent might be trying to whiff punish my stuff, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk. If I think that you are trying to whiff punish my normals, then I won't throw any, and I'll just be like, bitch, make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. By walking forward, I can force them to make a decision, because if they don't, I gotta throw. Think about it, if you walk forward and they don't hit anything, you gotta throw. They have to do something, right? And so we have the two styles of footsies that intersect and that they counter each other. If he's looking to whiff punish, I can walk forward and make him want to not. Because at this spot right here that I'm standing, that whiff punish isn't going to work. And now he's got to think about actively poking or getting away or something. Which, by the way, all of them are not blocking. So I could walk forward and crouch hard kick at the tip, or I could walk forward and wait till like right here and then crouch hard kick. I would delay my aggressive footsie because I think you're waiting for something. I'm predicting you are. When I see that you are waiting for something, I'll go for a normal late. There's a similar concept that can be employed in frame traps, but that's another matter. The idea is, if you are predicting that your opponent might be trying to whiff punish, you walk towards them and you go like, that's not going to work. Stop that. Stop that. It's not going to work. And then, think about how your opponent can stop you from walking forward. If I'm Chun, and I walk forward, how can Seth stop her from walking forward? There's plenty of ways. The answer is to poke. I just have to hit buttons. But wait a minute. If I hit buttons, then now the Chun-Li can whiff punish me. Let's change the roles again. Oh god. Here we go. Let's go. Let's switcheroo. You guys really gotta learn how to use the training dummy. This is serious shit. Grims, did you win? Motherfucker. Why are you so good? Alright, so.
Let's get started. Fight!
Okay, so those jabs are to help me with my timing, okay? But here's the idea. I'm going to walk forward with Chun. Remember the scenario we were in. You're Chun, you're walking forward, and you're thinking, how is this Seth going to stop me from walking forwards? And what he's gonna do is he's gonna try to poke you. Okay? That's one thing he could do. He's got other options. But thinking about Footsies, he's gonna try to poke you to prevent you from walking forwards, right? So what you can do with your walk speed is not just walk forward, but also walk back, so that you're just out of the range of the poke that he tries to defend himself with. If you're just out of that range, then that sets you up for a whiff punish. Doesn't it? Oh, missed it. Remember how I started this? I started with Cammy Bison and said, how do I stop a Bison from poking me? Look at where we are now. We've come full circle. How do I stop the Seth from poking me? The only difference is I'm walking forward and he's walking back. But it doesn't matter which direction you're walking. The concept is the same. If you want to stop someone from throwing out pokes, whiff punish them. If they're scared of your whiff punishment, then walk forward to make them throw out pokes. That is how you play Footsies. That's how, but you still can't do it because you have to practice all of this. You have to say, hey, if a guy is going to defend himself with stand medium punch, what would I whiff punish that with? If I'm walking towards a guy and he's going to defend himself with a normal, is he going to try stand medium punch? What if he tries other things? You got to understand, if I'm walking at a Bison and I'm predicting he's going to defend himself with medium kick and I throw something out early and he hits hard kick instead, my idea might not work. Maybe you'll have a normal to beat both of them. Do you? I don't know. This is what training mode is actually for. Okay? The number one thing I want you to understand, that I want you to take away from this is you have to incorporate mind games in your neutral game. You have to know what your bad normals are good for. You have to know that there are normals that you don't use that are explicitly designed to be used as counter pokes. Explicitly. Okay? It's one of my favorite examples. One of my favorite examples. You don't see this poke getting used because it's slow and terrible and it's not cancelable. Why would I want to use it? I'll tell you why. Because it's 200 fucking stun. And if you know it's gonna work, you should do this. Nope, wrong spacing. Nope, see? I'm too close. I think I'm far away enough, but I'm not. Miss! Damn, really? Ah! See, it's really slow. Notice that slow moves are harder to whiff punish with. I kind of have to predict exactly when he's going to press it for this to work. But it can still work. And what you need to know is that there's a lot of normals that you don't use that are expressly for counter poking. Especially in Dudley's case. Dudley is the king of counter pokes. But nobody fucking gets it because they don't understand what I've been explaining in the past half hour. Okay? Dudley has very few actually good pokes, but he has a lot of great counter pokes. Great counter pokes, because they don't push back on hit, and they keep you at a spot to make you guess. Bison medium kick. Let's keep using this normal, because a lot of people have trouble with it.
Your destiny will be determined here. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Fight! Obviously, his best counter poke is hard kick. Maybe when you were looking at Dudley's frame data, you're like, why is his hard kick start up in 4 frames and go nowhere? I'll tell you why. It's so he can whip punish shit from really far away. It's not, like, you can use it as, obviously it works in combos, but it's not there to be a poke. Neither is medium punch. Neither is medium kick. Fierce punch and forward fierce are pretty much the only pokes he's got. That's it. Okay, now his fierce punch and forward fierce are good pokes and good counter pokes, depending on the spacing between you. You'll notice Dudley has good backwards walk speed. There's a reason he walks backwards so fast. It's so that he can enable his whiff punishes. That's why. That's why walk speed is an important balance consideration. Because at the end of the mind games, at the end of the mastery, what backwards walk speed decides is how effective they are at whiff punishment. Not how fast they can get away, it's how good they can whiff punish. Because if they can walk backwards faster than somebody walks forwards, notice this. Dudley walks backwards as fast, almost as fast as Bison walks forwards, and Bison walks forwards pretty damn fast. This enables Dudley to play real footsies with Bison. Forward medium punch is another excellent example, okay? You'll notice with Dudley's pokes, if you look at him, like hard punch hits kind of high. Medium punch hits kind of high. Like, a lot of his stuff hits pretty high. So you have to use his command normals to hit the lower areas. Forward medium punch in particular. Ah! Shit. Okay. Woo! Not to mention, the forward fierce little hesitate there. If you time a forward fierce correctly, that little hesitation will go around the normal and get it. But you have to time this perfectly, and you have to be spacing yourself already. This is a prediction. If a Dudley hit a forward fierce and got you right around your normal, maybe they were predicting your normal and the timing of your normals is too basic. Okay? This is why whenever I play against a Bison that just does walk forward, medium kick, I don't want to play any more games with this guy. I don't want to, because I haven't seen any amount of him actually trying the whiff punishment game or playing around with the spacing. Okay? The next time that you see two opponents doing this, I want you to understand that there is something completely, that there are things going on in their minds. They're thinking, is he going to do medium kick? I should whiff punish it. Is he going to do medium kick? I should walk backwards. I should try to space myself so I can whiff punish it. Is he walking backwards? Huh. Maybe I should walk forward to get to poke range. Oh, wait. Damn it. He walked backwards at that point. Maybe he can whiff punish my forward fierce. Oh, no. This is footsies. Walk forward, medium kick. Hold down back and do scissor kick randomly. I'm Ryu. I'm just going to crouch medium kick whenever I get there. That's not footsies. That's not high-level play. And if you got to 15, 20, 25, 35, 30 gajillion, my dick is so big, battle points, without doing this, then you're a fraud. Okay? I hate to use that word, but you are not going to beat PR Rog. You are not going to beat Justin Wong. You're not going to beat Ricky Ortiz. You can probably beat me, because I'm terrible now. I'm just saying, this is the game. This is Street Fighter. If you're not doing this, you're not playing Street Fighter. You're just playing one character like this. And all you're doing is playing through this very tiny window of, well, these are my good pokes, and these are my mix-ups and my save attempts on my option selects, and I'm just going to do that. And I'm so good at that that I'm going to get to a tournament, and it's going to work. No, it's not. No, it's not. God, I'm Adon. My hard kick is so good, nobody online can stop me. My hard kick is godlike. No Ryu's ever going to stop me from doing this standing hard kick. Ever, ever, ever. You know what? You're fucking wrong. And you have to understand that you have not come across good enough players that are doing this before you can start to think about using it. Because if you're winning all the time and not using this, then you're not going to learn it, because you don't have to. Wah! Let's try fresh.
It's the battle of the century. Fight!
I'm far away. Wah! I'm so good. Oh, well, that was predictive. Let's try to whiff punish this, shall we? Let's do some jabs first here. Let's set this up perfectly so that you can understand that it is possible for this stuff to work. Let me take a step forward, and I'll do that. Notice Adon has good forward walk speed. If you want to whiff punish this, you need to be walking backwards way before he does that. Way before. It's possible, but you gotta be walking back really, really early. And notice, the crouch block makes it. Remember what I was talking about? That crouching hitbox that gets bigger? The hurt box? So if you're trying to walk away and then do a crouching normal or something, you're gonna accidentally block it. Look at Ryu. He's got no range. What can he do, right? Crouching medium punch. It seems like it's too low, right? Damn. Tried to hit a button, but I was too close. Let me try a crouch medium punch again. I gotta practice. I gotta figure out a counter poke for this scenario, right? You don't have to be Daigo to do this. Get this through your head. You don't have to be Daigo. You just have to know how to do it. Okay? You don't have to be. You have to know about the walk forward early, about the prediction, about what you're going to be buffering into. What if I don't have super? I don't need super. I can at least just get the medium punch. What about hard kick? You know? You don't have to be Daigo to do this. You just have to understand where you need to be standing. You need to understand when you need to be walking backwards, and you need to make that prediction so that you're ready for it. Okay? Now, I'm noticing here that fast Hadouken, like a hard punch Hadouken, doesn't combo here. So I might not be able to get a combo. Maybe all I can get is stand medium punch. Maybe that's all I can get. And you know what? That's all I'm going to take. I'm not going to be greedy. That's it. Just take the stand medium punch. If you're ballsy, take the fierce. Okay? If you're standing at the right spot, you can do this. But that's one of two. Guys, remember, there's two ways to beat normals. If you know Adon's going to walk forward, he's walking forward pretty fast. Look how far away I am. Look how fucking far away Ryu is right now. Would you consider Ryu's medium kick a threat right now? No, of course not. He's too fucking far away. But if you predict that Adon is going to walk forward, and then you say, I'm going to walk forward at the same time that he walks forward, suddenly, he's in range. But if you don't predict that walk, you're not going to get this to work. Daigo isn't magic. He's just walking at a time where he thinks the opponent will also walk, and that's why, suddenly, magically, his crouch medium kick is in range. This has nothing to do with Ryu's crouch medium kick being good. We can argue that it's good. I would say that it's average. It's not a good poke. It's a very short range poke that is only good at one particular spot. But Daigo is so good at making you walk into that spot because he's playing the full range of Footsies. He's standing at a range where if you want to poke, he can easily whiff punish you. He could whiff punish you with a Hadouken. He could whiff punish you with a normal. Depending on, like, for example, he could not whiff punish Adon with a sweep right here. Probably not going to happen because of it doesn't have enough range. See, and if I try to, like, do the crouch hard kick, even at just the tip, like, if I were just a hair closer, that wouldn't work. See? Ah! Ah, fuck. I'm terrible. Okay? You can walk forward if you think they're going to walk forward. You can walk back if you think they're going to walk forward. You can with punish normals, you can predict their normals and walk forward so that you can catch them before their normals come out. But this is all prediction. It's all prediction. None of this is on raw reaction. None of it. You have to be thinking about it might happen in a moment, so I have it ready in my mind. Ultimately, that's how good frame traps come about, but you need to do this in the neutral game as well, and that is what makes you a complete Street Fighter player. That's how this works. If you have a question about a very particular footsie scenario, I can give you some more examples. I can pick random. It doesn't matter. This is general. It works for everyone in the game in every matchup in the game. It's just a question of how good are you at predicting when they walk and when they poke. You know? You might say, but Juice, I try to do the forward fierce and, you know, mine doesn't work because Adon's, you know, I try to do it and it doesn't work. See, I just did it wrong. No! You didn't do the wrong thing. You just did it at the wrong time. Or you were standing at the wrong spot. Or you made a bad read. There are plenty of ways for this shit to go wrong. This is not guaranteed, and that's why players that are intermediate don't do it. Intermediate players are too concerned with what always works. Well, this is a super safe way to play. Oh, this is a great way to fight against Ryu's, especially ones that throw Hadoukens. Oh, I'll just wait. He'll open himself up. No! Stop that shit! Stop it! That's not high-level play. The moment you underestimate your opponent, whether they beat you or not, you are not playing high level at that point. High-level play is about predicting a strong opponent and using their own tactics against them. At low and intermediate levels, there's nothing for you to predict because they don't know the whole game yet. This is the whole concept of respect, by the way. You know? Oh, well, he's not respecting him. Why is it that America, nobody respects anybody? You know why? Because we all fucking play online. Because we all have an idea of what the game is supposed to be that is wrong. The absolute best example I can give you, the best, Juso versus Haitani at the Capcom Cup Japan qualifier earlier this year or late last year. Makoto versus Sakura. Ask anybody in the United States what they think that matchup is. Ask every Makoto, ask every Sakura. They're all going to say it's 6'4" Sakura or better for Sakura. It's terrible. Sakura can walk so fast. Makoto, no, it's not going to work. Makoto can't play footsies with her. You're totally wrong. And that's what you're failing to understand. She totally can play footsies with the Sakura. But only Haitani is apparently good enough to make a crouch medium kick whiff and actually catch it with low short buffered into EX Hayate. It's not magic. It's that they know how to whiff punish and you don't. And you misappropriate the reasons for why things happen in matches. Okay? If you can wrap your head around this concept, the entire game will change for you, I promise. Ask Phoenix Cade. Ask any of the people in Arizona that I was able to help. The game is completely different once you start doing this. You start looking for things that you never thought you would look for. That is when you are playing high-level Street Fighter 4. And then when you're consistent at it, when you know when the Adon's walking back and when they're walking forward, suddenly, playing as Ryu, this isn't a bad matchup anymore. A lot of people ask, like, hey, you know, Juicebox, how did you play Abel against Zangief? How the fuck do you make that work? Footsies. I think about when he might be walking forwards, when he might be walking back. My anti-air is on point. I punish everything he lets me give him. But if he doesn't give me anything, if all he's giving me is safe normals, I can still win with that. Because I know how. Stand medium punch is so good. Abel can't beat that. Abel can. You can't. If you play footsies, you can too. There we go. If you want to know more, head to my stream, because I'm playing Street Fighter 4 now. Anyways, give me a minute. I'll be right back.